I'm Amy Shachter, Senior Associate Provost for Research and Faculty Affairs at Santa Clara University. I've been involved in the SENCER Project for the last 15 years. As a model developer, I'm also co-director of the Center for Innovation in the West. And what I'd like to talk to you a little bit about today are strategies for integrating sustainability across the curriculum. I'll tell you a little bit about Santa Clara University. Santa Clara is located in California, near San Jose in the San Francisco Bay Area. We have over 8,000 students. About 5,400 of those students are undergraduates. Our average class size is about 25 students. We are the oldest educational institution in the state of California. We were founded in 1851. You can see more information here on the slides. We are the home of Mission Santa Clara, which is one of the 12 original missions in the state of California. It is an operational mission site. And we do get a lot of sunshine in California, over 300 days a year. Unfortunately, that's led to quite a significant drought that we are currently contending with. What I want to just relate to you a little bit right now is some information about the Association for the Advancement of Sustainability in Higher Education and their past programs regarding sustainability across the curriculum. One of the original programs was called the Penstemon Project at Emory University. It's the longest running curriculum development program for sustainability. In addition, what emerged a few years later was called the Ponderosa Project at Northern Arizona University. Again, that's a faculty development initiative aimed at bringing environmental sustainability to a wide variety of courses, and more than 150 campuses have used the approach of the Ponderosa Project. And I also want to put a nod towards the STARS, or the Sustainability Tracking Assessment and Rating System that ASHE uses to report information and measures of performance regarding sustainability. It is a tremendous way for institutions to gauge how they're doing in terms of their sustainability efforts, in particular in sustainability across the curriculum programs. At Santa Clara, in 2007, one of our faculty members, John Farnsworth, started what he called the Penstemon Project. This emerged from the ASHE work, from the Piedmont Project and the Ponderosa Project, hence Penstemon. And John conceived of a sustainability across the curriculum program at Santa Clara. And it was specifically designed for faculty outside of the traditional environmentally focused disciplines as a way to bring sustainability and incorporate sustainability into a wide variety of courses across the curriculum. And what I call the low-hanging fruit is phase one of the Penstemon Project. So in 2007 and in 2009, there was one workshop run each year. They were typically 2 days long in the summer. Those are programs that a number of faculty participated in and presented work on how to integrate sustainability within the curriculum. In each of those workshops, approximately 20 faculty participated. And so in 2007 and 2009, about 39 or 40 faculty went through those workshops. And those were volunteers, meaning in many ways, and this is why I call it low-hanging fruit, those were faculty that were very much inclined and interested and probably had already thought a lot about how to integrate sustainability within their courses. In phase two of the program, we moved a little bit higher up on the tree, as I call it, because we provided some incentives for faculty to participate in workshops. This is when iPads first were becoming popular, and so as an incentive in 2011, we offered 3 one-day workshops. These were during the academic year. There were approximately 20 faculty who participated in each of the workshops, and each participant received an iPad And as part of the workshops on sustainability across the campus within their curriculum, within their courses, they were also given some instruction as how to use the iPad in education and in their courses. So in 2011, about 60 more faculty were reached. And then John came up with a fantastic idea for what I'll call harvesting the orchard. That is, how do we then move from the low-hanging fruit, a little bit higher up on the tree, but to really reach the core of faculty across the campus to make significant transformational change to bring sustainability truly across the curriculum. So in 2013, John developed a department-based initiative, and he worked closely with my office and the provost office, and we were able to support the efforts in which this initiative would allow each department to conduct an assessment and set a departmental goal about how many courses they would like to see sustainability components in throughout their curriculum. So this would be a department-based initiative with department-set goals, very much a bottom-up process and not a top-down process. But it also moves from an individual faculty member and working within their own individual course to a departmental perspective, which will allow for ultimately greater sustainability because those courses may move from faculty member to faculty member, but the commitment of the department to maintain the sustainability component means that those will continue on year after year and not be so dependent upon individual faculty. So the approach was actually quite brilliant in my opinion, and John has done a tremendous job in coordinating it throughout our campus. One of the key parts of this was a commitment by the provost to offer faculty summer stipends for course transformations. And so if faculty within the department committed to, say, moving a department from, let's say the first assessment was 20% of their courses contained a sustainability component. If they then moved to, as a department goal, 40%, they identified the courses that would then need to be modified. Those faculty would then receive stipends during the summer to do those modifications. And then in the future years, those courses would be offered, moving the department closer to their goal of, say, 40%. What was also a key part of all of this was to identify leadership in each of the different schools, in the dean's offices, who could then help support the project and support those transformations. So we've been working closely with deans to identify a lead associate dean in most cases, who could then help manage the project within each of the schools. The actual effort starts with a review of current courses. And so this is done primarily through our Center for Sustainability. And the executive director of that center is Lindsay Cromwell-Kalkenberger. And she has done a tremendous job of providing support, particularly student interns who would go through the curriculum, go through course descriptions, and actually make an initial assessment of the percentage of courses that have a sustainability component. And I'll explain to you the definitions that have been used to categorize courses in just a moment. Once there is our offices, or I would say the Center of Sustainability and John and Lindsay's analysis of the percentage of courses, then that is shared with the department. And then the department can inevitably take a look at those percentages and go through their own review of their courses to ensure that the data that we've provided or the data that the assessment we've conducted is actually accurate. And frankly, if you understand course descriptions and course catalogs, most of those don't contain enough detail to actually accurately assess sustainability components. Consequently, when the departments then go through and conduct their review, we get much more accurate data, and that information also promotes a discussion within the department that then allows them to set a goal of where they would like to move from what their current percentage of courses is. This allows the department to create then a plan for achieving that goal and what the timeline will be. And then the support provided by Penstemon and John and his team are individual and departmental consultations on how to actually integrate sustainability modules into courses, how to transform courses. And then, of course, the summer stipends for the course revisions that are provide a little bit of an incentive for faculty. Those summer stipends are on the order of $500 to $1,000. They're not gigantic stipends, but they are enough to motivate faculty and to support faculty and reward them for their efforts in integrating sustainability in their courses. So I want to go back for a second and discuss what the categories of courses are regarding sustainability. So what we look for when we're considering whether or not a course falls into a sustainability category. And we use the ASHE STARS definitions. So that is, courses that include sustainability are courses that are primarily focused on a topic other than sustainability, but incorporate a unit or module on sustainability or a sustainability challenge. So those are courses that are not, there's not going to be sustainability in the title. The title may have nothing to do with sustainability. It may be something like analytical chemistry. However, there are modules, there are labs, there are components of those courses that actually tie directly to sustainability. And then there are sustainability-focused courses, where you might find sustainability in the title or very explicitly in the course description, where those courses, the sustainability is a primary or explicit focus, and it's on understanding or solving one or more of the sustainability challenges as outlined by the UN Earth Charter. So those courses are clearer. For example, when a review of a curriculum is done initially by the Center for Sustainability, those are the courses that jump out because it's pretty clear what they are. It's the courses that include just a unit or a module that have a sustainability component that we really rely upon the faculty and the departments to help us identify. So there is a departmental review process. As I said, John is the leader on that with Lindsay Cromwell and the Center for Sustainability, and also a whole team of student leaders. We targeted in 2013 and 14 several departments to see if we could see how this process would work. The departments are listed there: civil engineering. Our business school has a business core of courses that all of the business students need to take. It's 9 courses, and we've worked closely with the sustainability leadership team in our School of Business, run primarily by a faculty member whose name is Bill Maines, to integrate a sustainability component in the entire business core. We also have the political science department, the economics department, and the anthropology departments. All those agreed to participate in our pilot effort in 2013-14. We offered 25 summer stipends of $1,000 to faculty in those departments to revise particularly those courses to help move the department more towards their goal. And their goal in some cases was close to 100%. Anthropology and civil engineering, for example, were really moving towards almost getting 100% of all of their courses in the sustainability category. Political science and economics were also already highly anchored in sustainability, but they were very interested in moving their percentage up higher. In summer 2014, what we also did is targeted key science faculty, and this is an important kind of personal component that is a part of the sustainability across the curriculum program. We identified key faculty in chemistry, biology, and physics, and had a lunch conversation with them, and then asked them simply how we should proceed. What's the next best step? And in those cases, they decided, well, we'll go back and poll and talk to our colleagues and come back and let you know how we're doing. And that worked out fabulously. And in particular, it led to the revision of the general chemistry lab program that occurred actually almost instantaneously from that meeting and from that conversation, so that we were able to really transform the general chemistry lab program in a short period of time to meet the sustainability goals of the university and of the sustainability across the curriculum project. In 2014-15, John and I actually went to our College of Arts and Sciences Chairs Retreat, where we shared with all of the department chairs in the college the initial review of their percentages moving towards sustainability. And as we know, when we do that review at a higher level within the Center for Sustainability, we are not capturing all the data. And so that inspired many of those department chairs to go back to talk to their colleagues, and we were able to get much better reviews and much better information about the percentage of courses in all of the departments in the College of Arts and Sciences and where they stood relative to sustainability, very much improving our data moving forward. Also, over the year, John met with several other departments, in particular our Liberal Studies program, where in this summer 2015 we have over 12 summer stipends of between $500 and $1,000 given to faculty to add modules and modify courses. And I want to also give a nod to another webinar. ASHE has a webinar on the Penstemon Project by John Farnsworth. There's a link for information there, and that can be contacted or accessed through the ASHE website, or you can contact John to get more information about how he approaches the workshops that he conducts with the departments and individual faculty. What I want to focus on now are what some of the SENCER resources are regarding sustainability and how they can support an effort and a strategy to integrate sustainability across the curriculum. And I want to focus on the SENCER model courses as resources that are available. There are over now 50 model courses, as I should update this PowerPoint, but over 50 model courses. And a number of them have a focus on sustainability-related topics. So I've highlighted a couple here on this slide: sustainability and human health, and also an older model on global climate warming. A SENCER model course that I'd like to focus on now is called Chemistry and the Environment. And the main focus of that course that makes it a SENCER course are campus and community-based projects. Those projects are required of all of the students. Chemistry and the Environment is a non-science majors environmental chemistry course, approximately 40 to 50 students. Sustainability research projects are a cornerstone of the course. The projects are typically done in groups of 4 to 6 students. There is a group project proposal that is a key part of the course. We are on the quarter system at Santa Clara, and so the group projects have to be done in a very short period of time. So a proposal is a key part within the first week of the course, so that the scope and nature of the project can be narrowed and can be identified quickly. I often find that students will propose a course that could be a master's or a PhD thesis and not something that can easily be accomplished in 10 weeks. So what we try to do is narrow that down and come up with a concise project that can be done in the time frame allowed and can result in significant results for the campus. Students are required to do both individual and group progress reports. There's also a final written report that's due, as well as a poster presentation or a website or other media. And what's an important component of this is viewing the campus and the community as a living learning laboratory, and that the students will be doing research on the campus, but also contributing to the work of the campus and to sustainable decision-making on campus. This table gives you an example of a couple projects. One project was hazardous materials in the arts. Since the course is a non-science majors course, it meets a core science requirement. And one year there were a number of art students who were holding off to their senior year to take a chemistry course. And they focused their project on something they were interested in, hazardous materials in the arts. They looked at appropriate handling and disposal of hazardous materials, paints, dyes, glues, all different types of materials that are used in the theater and actually the studio arts. The chemistry connections, which is an important part of the project that they need to make both explicitly in their report and help interpret and understand the research results. They looked at metals and paints, volatile organic compounds, but then some of the policy-related issues are defining what is a hazardous material, what are MSDSs or material safety data sheets, and then also what are the OSHA and EPA regulations, so that if they, in the end, are working in the arts community later, what are their rights and responsibilities according to OSHA and the EPA regulations. We also ask them to explore waste disposal and questions of indoor air pollution. So one of the outcomes and recommendations from this project led to a ventilation system, a hood ventilation system being placed in the costume shop of the theater department, where they use a lot of dyes and glues, etc., to provide adequate ventilation. And that was an important outcome. Again, when the students do their reports and the students do their poster presentations and websites, what they're asked to do are to provide recommendations to the university campus for improving our efforts of sustainability on campus. And that's exactly what came out of this project. We also took a look at the use of reclaimed water on campus. I mentioned earlier that California is experiencing a significant drought. About a dozen years ago, the campus explored using reclaimed water from the San Jose, Santa Clara sewage treatment facility. That has some implications because those waters tend to be higher in different salts. Initially, some of the reclaimed water, probably about 20 years ago, had a lot of heavy metal content. The sewage treatment facilities, et cetera, have removed the heavy metals, but they still tend to have a lot of salt content, a lot of sodium chloride, potassium chloride, and other types of salts that tend to be less toxic generally, but that level of salt when put on grass or some trees and some plants can cause problems. And so what they explored was what's the composition of the reclaimed water? How do you purify water from the sewage treatment facility? What are the metal ions and what actions can they take? And then they made some recommendations to the campus regarding when and how to use it on campus. When a more developed laboratory component was added to the course, a student who worked in our facilities, Chris, who's shown in the picture here, came to me and wanted to convert one of the trucks in our facilities area to biodiesel. And consequently, what we did there was in the laboratory component, we did a project on how to make biodiesel fuel from different oils and fat byproducts. We used, in some cases, used cooking oil from the campus cafeteria, and in other examples we used new cooking oil, corn oil, vegetable oil, peanut oil, etc., to try to determine what would be the best way to make biodiesel. It turns out in the end it was quite successful. We were able to make biodiesel. The last day of lab, Chris drove up with his truck. We poured it in, and he drove away, and the truck continued to function, which I was very happy about. The students were happy. And they also made a recommendation, and their recommendation to the campus was it's probably not economically feasible for the campus to actually go through the process of making biodiesel on our campus, simply because of the toxic and corrosive nature of some of the materials and some of the waste products. And the scale, we on our campus simply do not use enough diesel fuel that would make a scalable biodiesel facility feasible for our campus. And that was an interesting question to explore and an interesting result for our campus. What I want to do now is identify a few other resources from the SENCER portfolio that do relate to sustainability. Some of the models I show you here, slow food, the power of water, renewable environment, brownfield action, energy and the environment, environment and disease are some that show, again, our relationship to sustainability. These models are available on the web, and different components of them could be used to integrate a module or even transform a course to have a greater sustainability component. Two 2014 models that are key to potentially integrating components of sustainability into a wide variety of classes are Climate Change Science and Economics, which is more of a social science course that was developed by Denise Conan in the Department of Economics in University of Hawaii, Manoa, also with her colleague Julia Morgan in the philosophy department. That provides a tremendous amount of information and economics models related to climate change. And then Pollinators, a case study for systems thinking and sustainability by Susan Cousteau and others at Southern Connecticut State University. It's a fantastic course that integrates a different way of thinking about systems and sustainability. Now I'm giving you here on this last slide some links at the SENCER website, the SENCER resources website where you can actually search resources related to sustainability, the ASHE organization website. ASHE gives you information about sustainability in higher education. Santa Clara University Sustainability website also provides information on how to integrate sustainability into your courses, also on how to use the campus as a living learning laboratory, and different projects we've done on our campus over the years related to sustainability. And lastly, again, a link to a webinar that John Farnsworth created recently on how he does his workshops related to sustainability across the curriculum.